What's up, Gene?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Good.
Oh, man. Another day.
Another dollar.
Yep.
As they say.
We've got our drink of choice here. Gene is being more healthy, but that's only because he was having McDonald's the last time we talked.
Wow.
So he's drinking water.
Just call me out, aren't you?
Hey, you were the one who sent a GIF in our text of you sitting on the couch eating string cheese or whatever that was.
So, context. Dan sends us a text or sends a group text yesterday to a bunch of us with some pictures of some work he was doing in his yard. A lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting, using equipment, all that kind of stuff. And I think he called it Body by Dan, right? Something like that. So I decide to be funny and send back just a GIF out of Apple's images file of a woman laying on a couch eating putting string cheese in her mouth. She's like spraying it in her mouth, right? So I'm like, Body by Gene. And of course his response back is, that's 100% correct.
You know what's crazy is that did you used to eat
That's
that?
all chemical. Yeah, it's all chemicals.
Oh yeah,
I haven't had that I guarantee it's been 20 plus years. The last time I've had that.
I was in high school. I remember in high school we used to shoot that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get it and you press it and it shoots that cheese in.
Yeah, we said shoot it. It sounds like you're doing a drug.
I know.
We were shooting it, man.
But oh gosh, I have not. When you sent that, it just
Did you bring the
brought back
good
memories
stuff?
of back
Did
in
you bring
high
the
school.
cheese with the bacon? Yeah, I got that. I got $20 for you.
So,
Oh, by the way, the cheese one with the bacon was actually the best one. Just saying. Since we're talking about it.
so you're talking about kind of shady stuff. My neighbor back here, I was talking to him 2 days ago when all that work that that picture that Gene was referencing that I was working on, we had to cut down trees in that area over there because they were dead and stuff. So we fell those trees, but in the process of doing that, he had brought some like 20-foot heavy-duty chains to pull on the tree to get it angled the way we want. So when we fell the tree, it would go in where we wanted it to, because it's right beside a road and we don't want it to hit on the driveway and the fence. So anyway, he had 2 of those and we misplaced one. Okay, when I was back there working the last couple of days, I found it. And so I took it back to him, and we're talking just about some random stuff. But he told me the story of fish tanks. One of their fish tanks had leaked, did a whole bunch of damage in their house, like massive damage. But they had about $1,000 in fish. And so he didn't want to throw the fish away, so he posted, and a bunch of people said, yeah, I'll take your fish. So he said that this one guy, he took a whole bunch of 5-gallon buckets, and he met him behind a bowling alley in Kent at 3 a.m. in the morning
For fish?
for fish. And he's like, can you imagine if the police came by and saw them and like, what are you doing? Oh, we're exchanging fish. I'm like, yeah, they're going to think there's something super shady going. There's
fishy. Yeah. Did you bring the good fish? I got the good fish.
I'm like,
I only bring the best stuff.
what's inside the fish is probably
Well, they're swimming. They're probably, if they were dead, it'd be a different story. But
they're still. So anyway,
That's
it's
so funny.
shady stuff.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, Gene. So what do we have today?
I know we always talk about what we do car related, but since the last time we spoke, I haven't left the house. So I have not done. I went out to my car to get a bottle of water.
So you're not supposed to say that kind of stuff, you know.
Why not?
Well, it just keeps the allure of we meet every week.
We generally do.
We generally do.
Yeah, we generally do. Okay, so today, last episode, we talked about your first day as a race car driver.
Yeah.
That's a legit thing. You are now back up. You have done a race. Are you a race car driver if you do one event or if you do multiple?
Well, I would say it's as long as you race the car, you're a race car driver.
That's what I think too.
Right?
I would agree with you. But in case somebody goes, oh, they've only done it one time, I still think race car driver Dan.
Hey, I'm a legit motorcycle and race car driver now.
There you are.
So I'll take it.
I'll take it. It's done, sold. So we talked about, we do a lot of track days. We do, obviously you're not a race car driver.
Autograph signing later today.
Exactly right. Let's talk about track days. specifically, talk about your first track day. And there'll be a few questions I'll ask like throughout, but I'll tell you what they are now. So why did you do it? Like, what did that look like? Why did you say, I want to go do a track day? Because they're not cheap. They're a little dangerous if you're, certainly could be sketchy depending on who's around you. Talk to me about how did you feel during the track day? Like, did you have any fear that day? I know I did. Like, talk to me about what did you drive? Were you fast? Were you slow? How'd you feel? Did you do anything stupid? Let's talk about that. And then I have a second follow-up after that. And then I'll do mine too.
So I probably can't remember all those questions, so you'll have to.
I will.
You'll
I'll
have
ask throughout.
to recall here. So first track day with the car, I think we've talked a little bit about it before, was with the club.
The Cadillac V Club.
Cadillac V Club. I showed up in my... I showed up in my non-Cadillac car.
He showed up in a Z.
I did. I showed up in my 370Z Nismo. I did that because one, my Nismo car is the performance version of the 370, and so I thought that it would probably do better on track. I didn't want to take the Blackwing out, so that's really why I did it. I just wanted to take the Nismo because I thought it's less horsepower, but it's more performance oriented. And
you modified it before that too, right?
Yeah,
you had done some upgrades to cooling and stuff.
Yeah, I had done lots of stuff to the car. I don't know if we've talked about it before, but I'd done lots of mods to it. Mm-hmm. So it was performing. It's performing well. That was my first track day, and that was 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah,
May timeframe, I think.
Yeah, it was the first one we did with HOD.
Yeah, first one we did
when we first partnered with them 2 years ago.
Yep.
So yeah,
that was my first track day. Yeah. I will say I felt a bit awkward showing up with my non-Cadillac. I did. But
so he pulls up with his Silverado pulling an open trainer.
I had my flatbed.
He had a flatbed, right, not enclosed, with his Nismo, and then we parked our car next to his in a horseshoe, or a square configuration. So we were kind of parked around, and he parked off to the side so he could hang out with the cool kids.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to park in the middle, so
yeah.
I did park off the side, but I was right next to. We had 20 cars that day, so there was a whole bunch of, and people are like. They did come up to me and say, "Why aren't you in the Blackwing?"
Who were you there with? Weren't you there with somebody?
No, I was by myself.
For some reason, I thought you were there with somebody else.
No, I was by myself.
Oh, okay.
What was I feeling that day?
Yeah. How did you feel?
I mean, I was excited just to see what it would be like to have the car on track and to see how I would perform on track. Because at that point, that was the first type of performance thing I'd done since my accident.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
so I hadn't done anything up until then. So part of it was like, man, how am I going to feel, in my own car? How will I feel about that? How will I do? I wasn't worried. I'm used to speed, so I'm not. That stuff doesn't scare me. I wasn't worried about my car per se because the Ridge, I'd watched enough videos to know that the Ridge doesn't have stupid stuff like walls that line that you make one simple mistake and
Pacific Raceways.
Yeah, I like Pacific Raceways and other tracks that have walls that line them a lot. So I really wasn't worried. I was just nervous about how I would do as a driver on the course. So. Yeah, that's probably how I felt.
Any fear though at all? No fear?
I had no fear.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, you never want to have an incident where you hit someone or your car breaks or something like you total your car.
Yeah.
But I wasn't afraid. I will tell you, this is interesting. A lot of people ask me, do you get track insurance?
Yep. A lot of people ask me the same thing.
I don't know if we've talked about it before, but I don't get track insurance.
Me either.
Maybe it's because, again, my background in racing and how long I've been doing that type of activity, not with cars, but similar, that I feel comfortable with speed. I feel comfortable about my riding, I say riding, thinking motorcycles, my ability to control a vehicle at speed. I feel pretty confident in that. And so I'm not one of the people that are so risk adverse that I have to have something in protection all the time. It is calculated, right? I mean, because there's always the risk that something bad could happen, but it's pretty calculated that I feel confident that I don't need to. And I've done, at this point, 25 track days. I don't know if I've even come close to having an incident. The closest I've ever done is racing. Like, that was super close. But on a track day, like, I've never even come close to having an incident. So I don't do track insurance. I always tell people, if it makes you feel comfortable so you can go out and drive well, then get insurance. If you are going to go out on the track and you're so worried about what you're going to do to your vehicle, then you probably ought to get insurance, because if you're going to be worried, that means you're not focused and you're not going to be able to perform well because you're always worried. So you probably should go get insurance.
Well, the problem with track insurance is if you pay, say, $350 for a day, and you get track insurance, and you say, like my car, the agreed upon value, say I bought it for 80, agreed upon value now to replace it 55, 60 or whatever for a used one, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's generally like almost $100 per 10,000. So now I'm talking $500 ish or more. Just for track day insurance. So my $350 track day is now $850 or more.
Yeah.
So call it $1,000 for a track day. If I break the car like I did it at ORP last year, cost me about $600 to fix it and some labor here at the house. Okay, that's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it for me to go, okay, some damage. Even if it was a couple grand, as many times I've tracked the car,
Yeah.
I've still, worked out in the better for not having it. So yeah, it's expensive. Like if it was less expensive, if it was 1/4 the cost, maybe even 1/3 the cost of a track day, I'd do it. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I don't mind spending a little extra for that peace of mind, but I wouldn't do more than 1/3.
Yeah, it's tough because the company, they're insuring, I guess if it's a $20,000, $30,000 car, but when you start getting in the 80, 90, 100, 150, 200.
GT3 RSs are $500,000. Or three, whatever they are
the
now.
insurance
Still,
for that,
$5,000.
the track insurance companies, they have to make money or they can't stay in business. They can't charge you cheap prices. So I don't think we'll ever see cheap prices because they have to stay in business.
Unless there's a track insurance company that said the max value we're ever going to pay out is $40,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you change that, yeah.
If you cap that out, you'll get a lot more people doing it, I think.
Probably would. And that's an interesting business model. So you're not covering. Yeah, that's interesting.
I've thought about that for a while.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
all right, somebody out there listen, just go do it. We'll be your first customer. Let us know. We'll sponsor.
I am not the kind of person that typically goes, like, obviously insurance on my house, right? You're talking about big things. On my car, it's mandatory, so I have it. But I don't typically go by like third-party type insurance programs because obviously, statistically speaking, they're going to make money because they're profitable. Therefore, they don't pay out way more than they would need to if there was some type of a claim. So I'm typically not that kind of a person, so it's no surprise. It is a bit scary when you watch these videos of people on track days and they do stupid stuff. But then it's like, yeah, but are they driving above their ability? Because if you can't control yourself to drive within your ability at high rates of speed with other people around you, then you probably shouldn't have been on the track to begin with, right? Or you need to be notching it down.
We had members at some HOD events wreck their cars, a couple of them, right? One at Sebring, I think one at VIR, and they both, they were fine, right? One totaled it, and he said he had bought track insurance that day, thankfully.
Oh, wow.
But it was a 5V2, right? Ooh. So it was not expensive. It was the 5V Blackwing. And he totaled it and ended up getting a new car. But in the end, he clearly said, my fault. I overdrove the car based on my ability. So very, humble about it, owned up to it, very accountable to himself, and said, no, it's my fault. That's great that you recognize that of yourself. So now you guarantee that won't happen again. Well, you hope.
You would hope that you would learn that lesson.
Yeah.
But most people, maybe, I don't want to be stereotypical here, but I would say that mostly guys are going to drive above their ability because their egos get in the way.
Yes, very much so.
And so that's where it becomes an issue.
Okay, back to the question.
Okay.
So what you talk about? What did you drive? So were you fast? Were you slow? Did you even have that Garmin set up that day?
Garmin. I was timing the lap.
Okay.
I didn't have Garmin. I know at one point I was doing 210. Like the first time out, I was in the 210
Okay.
plus range. I don't remember what, but I know it was above 210. By the time I got done, I know I was closer to 205.
Okay, nice.
But I don't know if I broke 205, but I know I saw 205 on the thing I was using at the time. I had there's some app on my phone. I forgot what it was. I downloaded it and it
Like Track Addict or something
Track
like that.
Addict, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I've used that.
So I think maybe I got down to 205. I don't know if I ever told you this. Did I tell you about an incident that I had?
That day?
Yeah.
No. Well, I was going to ask you, did you do anything stupid?
Did I have an incident? I don't know how many sessions we had that day. It was like a full day, right?
Yeah.
That was like 5, 6, 7 sessions.
Yeah, it's a full day.
I didn't have any incidents up until the second to last time on track. Obviously, probably the first 3 times, I'm just out there learning the track because I'd never been on track one, and I'd never been on that track. So I spent probably at least the first half of the day just kind of learning the track, how to drive the car on the track, what do the cones mean? Because I'd never done any of that stuff before, and so I spent a lot of time just kind of learning. Then by the second half of the day is when I tried to start being a little bit fast, but clearly I'm talking 205 to 210 is kind of what I was doing, so I'm not super fast. The second to last session, I'd already changed out the brake fluid to high temp with like 660, I think.
Yeah, like the Motul 660.
Yeah, Motul 660. I changed that out, so I wasn't having any problem with my brakes. But as I'm coming around on the last lap of the next to last session, this is the cool down lap, right? So they already flagged, and so this is the cool down lap. So we're not going as fast, but you're still going somewhat fast. A couple of turns earlier, so maybe like say 5, 6, somewhere in that area, my clutch felt weird. Like all of a sudden it just felt weird. I'm like, oh gosh, what is going on? Come out of the thumb, come around, going down the straightaway before you hit the corkscrew, press the clutch in to make the turn down the hill, clutch stays on the floor.
It stuck.
Stays on the floor.
Oh.
Pushed it, it stays down there. I'm like, oh crap, the heck. So quickly the clutch is all the way in, right? So I just moved it to neutral.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to use my foot to pull back it up. And so I was able to get the clutch pulled back up. And so I'm like, oh, that was weird. Press it down again, it stays on the floor. I'm like, whoa, okay, so now I'm not sure what's happening. So I just keep it in neutral, and I'm just trying to coast my speed until I get all the way down the turns. And as we pull
Well, thankfully, that turn 13 is a downhill.
It's a downhill.
So you get some momentum.
No.
Talk about having a momentum car.
Oh, is that supposed to be
I'll be here all week, folks.
Okay.
Just laugh at it, make me feel better.
Oh, man, that was rough.
It was cheesy, I know.
So I pull off the track, pull up the clutch. I'm like, crap, sticks again. I don't remember exactly where we were parked, but I just carry enough speed to get off the track because there's no one stopping you, right? You just come off the track. So I just keep carrying the speed, and I get all the way up to where we park and stop the car.
Wow.
So I made it all the way there.
I can't believe you carried the momentum all the way from the top of 13 into where we parked. Because when you have to come in, take a right, then take a left, take another left where we were parked.
I was barely moving, but I made it there.
You're Fred Flintstone in it.
Yes. So I stopped the car. I'm like, crap. I popped the hood. I'm looking. Did I boil something? Like I'm looking, I don't see anything. And so my thought was, you know what? I never changed the clutch fluid. I only changed the brake fluid because I was worried about boiling. Maybe the clutch fluid. So I let the car sit and let it cool down. Maybe within half an hour, I come back to check it because we go back on track. And
it's a hydraulic clutch then.
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed it was mechanical. No. I guess you should have known since it's a modern car that it was hydraulic. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I boiled it.
You boiled it, yeah.
So when I came back half an hour later, everything's working just fine. Drove around the parking lot just fine. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to go out for the last session because I could probably get a couple laps in, but then the same thing is going to happen.
And you may not be in the back side. Yeah, that's right.
So I set out. I didn't do the last session. So I did have an incident. So my first time on track, I did have an incident. Luckily, it was not a burger, and nothing actually happened.
So my question here was, did you do anything stupid? The answer is yes.
Well, how do you classify that as stupid?
I'm just kidding. I would say it's not stupid. Didn't change out
I think that
clutch.
I guess I could give you that.
But I'm not going to call it. I always said stupid because it was funny, but a learning opportunity.
Yeah, it definitely a learning opportunity about changing the clutch fluid in addition to the brake fluid.
Yeah.
Because I was so worried about overcooking the brakes.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about, the clutch. I didn't even think about it. So
what was your goal that day? Like you came out that day. Like what was your overall goal?
I don't think I set a goal. I think
I'm not talking about speed. Like
no.
Okay.
I think my goal. I think I just wanted to experience what is it like to take my car on track and drive at a fast rate of speed in a controlled environment. Like, what does that even look like?
That's a solid goal for the day.
But I don't know. I didn't like set an official goal, but I know that's what I was thinking. Hey, again, that was my first time taking my car out to do something since my accident. Is this something I could get into? The autocross I had done, it didn't really peak, like, had fun, but it really didn't, like, scratch that itch that I wanted. So was this going to be able to do it? So
I didn't realize that. I know you did a lot of autocrossing last year. I think it was last year, maybe the year before.
The year before.
Yeah, in the C8. I didn't realize you had done a lot of autocrossing in the Nismo.
I had done more in the C8. I had done it in the Nismo as well.
Okay. But before you did the track day, you did a bunch of autocross before that.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Naturally, the question would be, okay, did that pique your interest for track days? Well, since I know you so well, a little bit, yeah. When you put the car up on the flatbed, you started driving home, you started ruminating about the day and thinking back. And what was your thought process? What did you think?
Oh, I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. Like,
Yeah.
I want to
already that fast.
Yeah, I was like, I want to do more of this because I realized that watching the fast drivers that were out there, I'm like nowhere close. So immediately,
Still not.
That whole drive about wanting to be at the top of the spear, like that immediately happened.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I can see that.
I see those guys. I'm nowhere close. What do I need to do to get there? Yeah, that was immediate. Like immediate that I need to start being way more involved. How I can be a better driver on track.
Did you have your Z06 on order by then?
That would have been.
That was April of 20. You had to have been. Yeah, it actually had to be because it was April of 23 is when we first did it.
Yep.
So you already had it.
I did, but I wasn't. So when I put the Z06 on order, I wasn't thinking about tracking though. I only wanted the car because I heard it had the flat plane crank.
Wow.
So I wasn't even thinking about track. So now I question why would you buy a track car and not track it? Like I do that all the time.
But you did it.
But I was one of those people.
You were one of those people.
Because I wanted the engine sound.
Yeah. I would pose it that the vast majority of people who buy a Z06 do not track it.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean,
just like a CT5 or CT4V Blackwing, designated track cars designed for it, don't track them.
Well, I mean, look at the C8 Club. I've invited, I don't know, half a dozen times people come out to the Ridge or ORP. No one goes out there. No one. Like when we go out today, not literally today, but when we go out to the track, how many C8s, specifically Z06s, do you see at any of the tracks? The Ridge, I've seen 2.
Yep.
Only,
is that including John?
Not counting John. So other people aside from John. I've only been there 3 times in 2 different Z06s in 3 times. And all the times I've been there. ORP, never seen another one.
No.
When I was at Laguna Seca, didn't see one. They're not a common, I mean, and they sell a lot, right? They're selling
they're great.
Thousands and thousands of Z06s, but people aren't tracking
And
them.
it's such an amazing track car.
Oh, it is. It's phenomenal.
You know, for if you've been following our podcast, I've talked about it before. Dan let me drive his Z06 last year on the track. I was really nice about it first time, trying to get to know the car. And then he let me drive it one time before, did some parade laps, and he just like go at it. And so we, went a little more than parade speed, not full track speed, but still having some fun with it. And he was in the passenger seat, kind of walking me through the line because I hadn't driven the track, so of what he takes. So it was a lot of fun to drive. And if I ever get the opportunity to do it again, be more comfortable, go at it. Right? It's such an amazing car. It just is.
It's well planted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now, and then here's some more questions, and then I'll answer the same question. So talk about now. So when you go to the track, you've got like, what are your goals? We've talked about how much track experience you have now, but has it changed how you drive your car daily? And has your track day gear changed?
Oh my gosh, you asked me all these questions. I try to remember. I'm getting old. Remember, I'm 93.
I will. You're barely behind John. I will ask him again.
Okay, so the first question again.
What are your goals now when you go to the track?
Definitely when I go to the ridge, my goal is to chase that green. It still is. So I've been able to get 148s consistently now. So I'm solid 148s. I have another couple of seconds that I know. I mean, Garmin says 147 easy based on what I'm already doing.
Do you think there's a 146 in there?
I think that I can get to 146.
Your best laps 146?
I think I can get to 146.
Chasing the green.
Now, I wish they had Cup 2s for the car.
They don't?
They have Cup 2Rs. There's a big gap between 4S and 2R. And I don't want a 2R. I mean, it wears down.
How about the Nitto, like the 888Rs?
Well,
or the R888s? They're 100 tread wear tires, I believe.
Not in my...
not in your size?
I have to change the size. So there's a new company that's coming out, and I'm going to buy a set. They're cheaper. Sorry, Michelin. I'm definitely loyal to Michelin.
Me too.
But there's a brand coming out that has 200 tread wear tire. So this is more like a Cup 2 tire.
Okay.
It's cheaper, much cheaper than the Cup 2R. So it's around the price point of a 4S, but it's Cup 2 performance.
Really?
It comes out this month, so I'm probably going to order a set.
Who makes them?
I have to show you. It starts with a P.
Okay.
It's a company I've never heard of, but there's a lot of people talking about it on the Z06 forum.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm going to do, and I think that will help me 1 to 2 seconds, and then some other areas I need to tune up. So when I go to the track today, what's my goal is to try to be consistently fast lap times without screwing up, because that's the hardest thing. I can hit one fast lap, but can I do that over and over? So hit fast, be consistent. That's my goal now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has it changed how you drive your car daily? Like
100%.
My wife has told me the same thing, especially when she's in my car.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting how you answer that question.
Yeah.
The way I answer it may be different than you.
Okay. When I go through my stuff, I'll give you my answer.
Okay.
So how does it change your daily driving?
I'm way more slower.
Really?
Yep.
That is definitely different than mine.
I knew it would be.
It's definitely different than mine.
I'm not one... I've never been one to be reckless on the road.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not that type of person. I do like when we go out on drives and stuff, we'll do some spirited driving. But just when I'm regularly driving, if we're not out on some type of a drive where there's a group of us, I'm just way more chill, because I'm able to put my, I don't want to say aggression, but how I want to be fast, I put that on the track. And so now...
So appropriate driving for the appropriate place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm definitely a more relaxed driver now, and I don't try to show off. I've never been a showboat, but I definitely don't try to show. Where was I? I was going to the airport. My last trip, I'm going to the airport, and I drove the C8. And there's a guy pulled up next to me, wanted to race me. Can you guess what kind of car?
He's in a Mustang.
What's the other?
Oh, it's Charger or Challenger. Yeah.
Yep.
Of course.
Pulled up next to me, and he's like lunging because he wanted to take off. And so I'm literally driving the speed limit, 60 miles an hour. I'm just driving the speed limit. He kept on, and like I have no bother. And so he finally floored it and took off. But yeah, I would say I'm a more reserved driver now than I used to be. I would try to push it more often before, but now I'm like, I don't have any desire.
Yeah, I get it. Final question about this is, how has your track day gear changed?
Definitely changed.
I know one of them.
When I first started, I had the flatbed trailer.
Yep.
It was nerve-wracking loading it up. I mean, you look at David putting his car up there. I don't think I could ever do that.
No.
I felt nervous just putting my car up there.
He had 2 inches combined on combined on both sides before he would have destroyed something on the car. No.
I was still worried, and my car didn't even cost a fraction of his car, and I still didn't feel comfortable. So I used to have a flatbed, and now I've upgraded to an enclosed. So I have a 20-foot flatbed. Now I have a 28-foot enclosed trailer. So that's a huge upgrade.
A little bit.
Provides a much nicer track experience. Every time we have a place to get out of the sun,
Yep.
hang out. It's just really convenient. Flip the escape hatch out. Also means that towing is a lot safer because the flatbed trailer, the I guess the center.
Center of gravity, weight distribution.
Yeah, it's because it's a longer trailer and it's not sitting as high. It's lower to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I have better anchor points for it. I feel way more comfortable. Outside debris can't hit it. If you look on the enclosed trailer today, I've got 4 dings that are really good sized dings on the trailer. Had those hit my car.
Oh, yeah. Cracked windshield,
Yeah,
damage. Yeah.
So the protecting of the vehicle is significant. So I would say first and foremost, that's probably the biggest upgrade. But then as you move toward our equipment, I still have the same helmet that I started with. So the same helmet, it's good for another 5 years, I think, is when the current rating expires. So I've got 5 more years on that helmet. But I've added a Hans protection, a Simpson hybrid is what I've added. I did that primarily because of my accident when I broke my neck, that I can't have my neck shifting around and bouncing around, because the amount of forces that you have when you're in the car, your neck is definitely moving around a lot. So once I upgraded and bought that device, I could tell how much more rigid my neck became because it can't be bouncing around. I mean, it's just, you're very limited on the amount of movement. So that was more from a safety precaution because of what happened to my neck before, and I couldn't take a chance of anything happening to my neck. Had I not had the accident, I don't know if I would have bought that device, right?
Plus, you've used it a lot at Spring Mountain too.
Yeah.
So you know what it's about.
Yeah, you know what it's about. And so, but I came back from Spring Mountain and I was on track days and I didn't have that device either. It was only when I decided this is something I really want to get into that I said, okay, then I need to buy the device because I can't afford your neck to something happen. So I've done that.
You get the Garmin.
I've upgraded to having a Garmin in the car, which is such a huge asset. I mean,
And you've got PDR in that car, don't you?
Yeah, PDR. But the cool thing about the Garmin is that it will tell you where you're slower,
I know,
where you can improve, how it compares to your other lap times. So just from a training tool alone, it's really helpful, especially when you look at it and it said, when you're stopping 50 feet further into the braking zone, you're, 0.5 seconds faster. You know that. I mean, that's logically, that makes sense. But when you see that printed out and shown, it's like, oh, okay, I need to go to this point. So that's been a real big help. Those are probably the biggest things. I mean, obviously, that's probably the biggest things. I think that's what I've done. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So let's flip it over to you now.
All right. So my first track day, first time. So I bought my ATSV September of 2018, and it was a 2018 model, right? So it had the upgraded exhaust because I know guys who had 2016s like, "Why does your exhaust sound better? Did you upgrade it?" No. I didn't upgrade it. The manufacturer did. It sounded a little deeper. And I drove it for, I bought it in September, and I drove it for what? Until the last weekend, literally the last weekend of December, like December 30th of that year when I went to Spring Mountain for my 2-day Cadillac V Performance Academy. Until then, I'd never been on the track. And I thought I knew what the car could do. And until I got there, I'm like, oh no, I wasn't close.
Not even close.
Not even close. I was 50%. I mean, maybe a little more, but good 50%. But so that was my first track day, but not in my own car. So I kind of couched it 2 different ways. That's somebody else's piece of equipment.
Yep.
So I just go out and do my thing. The first time I took my car on the track was with John, Hans.
Okay.
And it was a track night in America.
Oh.
Yep. First time. In the novice group, of course.
Yep.
Why did I do it? Well, I enjoyed.
Hang on.
Yeah.
When was this?
This was going to be in April of 2019.
2019. And so you, Hans, and John.
Yep.
Had they been on the track?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they had been.
Yeah, they've been on track together a bunch of times.
A bunch of times.
Yeah,
so they pulled you in.
Yeah. So first time there, I really enjoyed the V Performance Academy, But I bought the car for a reason because I don't think I've ever talked about this. I don't know, maybe. I bought the car because I really wanted to buy a Factory 5 kit car and build it in the garage. That's what I really wanted to buy. And my wife said, yeah, no. And I said, why not? She's like, I said, it's not that expensive over the course of a few years. And she's like, yeah, I don't care. We don't have the space in the garage. This isn't as big a garage as we had in a previous house. Buy a car.
You're gonna do that in your house now that you're in now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no wonder Liz said no way.
I know. It's a 2-car garage. We only use one side of it. And our garage is clean, but it's got stuff in it.
There's not enough room.
These are not big garages down here or up here. The one in Florida had a 3-car garage. It was deep and wide.
Yeah, then you can dedicate a bay.
And I had a whole bay for just tools and stuff, a workshop. Oh, it was great. I wanted to do that. She's like, Gene, just go buy a car that you can use for a track day or for drag racing or something else. I wanted to get more into autocross, whatever. And we had test drove an ATS-V and a Gen 2 CTS-V one day. You know, the ATS-V was a lot less expensive than the CTS-V. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me do it. So that's why I got that car. Because I didn't want to say she was right, but she was right. She was right. I think now she regrets it. She's like, if I would have known. I'm like, if you would have known, you would have told me not to do anything. So let's be fair about it, right? So that's why I bought the car. So finally, after, January, February, March, you're not tracking anything. So in 2019, so finally, I'm like, okay, first time I'm going to do this. Not expensive. If I don't really like it in my own car, I lost $150. Yeah. Who cares? Went out there that day. I was nervous. Like, I know that I'm a good driver, and I already knew that I'm not going to overdrive the car. At least I thought so, and I didn't. I proved myself right. I didn't think I would overdrive the car. Let my ego get a hold of me. I'm in the novice group. I just go out and do my thing. Learn. That was kind of what I wanted. I want to learn. Do I like this or do I not? I was pretty confident in the car. I mean, having gone through Spring Mountain, I know the car is great. Could I be fast but not last, right? That's another thing too, right? I don't want to be the slowest guy on track with a nice, expensive car. That would have been embarrassing. But I was definitely nervous, and then other people around me, because what I told my wife, she's like, oh, you come home from these track days, you're always tired. I'm like, well, think about it. Now, especially in the advanced group, I've got cars that don't need me to give them the point by, really, in some of these groups. I can just go on by. Yep. I'm looking at my driving, right, trying to hit my braking points, my turn-in points. I'm also looking ahead of me. I'm looking behind me. I'm trying to figure out, okay, if someone comes up, am I going to stay in the line that I'm on now, which I should? What are they going to do? So, it's the mental more than the physical. Yeah, so it's mentally draining. So all of that's playing in my head first time on the track. And now I've got a bunch of newbies like me who don't know jack followed by crap, really. One track night or 1 or 2 days at the Spring Mountain don't make me a track driver. Yeah. It just doesn't.
So had John and Hans, while they were in the novice group, were they there because only you, or they're kind of at that same level as well?
No, they were definitely not at that level. Okay. Like normally I think they had done intermediate.
Okay.
They stayed down there because of me.
Because you. Okay.
And I appreciated them for that.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, because they were like, John would go ahead of me, and therefore I knew I had somebody that I knew in front.
You could trust.
Hans behind me, and then over time, we would switch around.
Yeah.
But
that's cool. That's good they did that.
But then again, John has a faster car. He had the CTS-V.
Yeah.
So at some point, full send, John goes full send, and he would just take off, right? And I was fine with that. It really, really was. That's a couple laps. I'm like, yeah, just go. Just go. Go do your thing. You got a faster car. I was running 212s at the time, I think I got down like a 210 that day, and I'm like, cool. You can't go when you have 30 cars on the track. You're not fast.
Yeah.
But I hooked. Like you, hooked.
Right away.
Done. That year I did 4 track nights. I did some hooked on driving. I mean, I think I did 6 or 8 that year. And the next 3 years the next year, 2020, I think I did 12 track days.
So they're doing still track days during COVID?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely did track days during COVID. And I'm going to do air quotes. We had to wear masks, air quotes.
They still require.
No, they didn't. No.
No, but I could see them saying that would be a requirement. No one's going to wear that.
No one wore masks.
But that was funny if they actually they said you still need to.
There were people walking around with masks on.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
people
don't doubt
looking at
that.
you like you're stupid without a mask. I'm like, I'm outside in the middle of Shelton. I'm not putting on a mask.
No, there's nobody around.
No, whatever. I didn't do anything stupid. I had a great time. My whole goal that day, learn it. Do I really like this thing? Can I drive? Am I going to be pretty decently fast but safe? And I didn't even think about consistency. I'm just like, let me drive the track and not wreck,
Yeah.
right? And see if I like it. Loved it. Fell in love. Like, okay, got
I
it.
wish we had same for me and for you. I wish we had a data trace that shows what we did our first time at the track, at the ridge, and what we're doing today.
I may.
Oh, really?
I may. I don't know. I have to see if I've got the what's it called? Track. What do I call it?
Track Addict.
Track Addict. I've got a lot of data lying around. I don't know if I kept this or got rid of it. I have to go find out.
I mean, clearly you've knocked a significant amount of time
A little
off.
bit.
But it would be interesting to see like your braking points
No,
now,
I don't.
your
I don't have any.
speed, your turn in, like how that's changed in the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, so I can tell you the fastest I ever went my ATSV was 201. That was
Okay.
my absolute fastest time I ever did. The next, and you turn into turn 8, turn 9, and you're heading up the hill, right? To turn 10.
Yep.
Or turn 8 to go up the hill,
Yeah,
and
to
turn
go up-
9, and then
yep.
10. In the ATSV, I do around 85 miles an hour. I never felt planted.
Oh,
Never felt comfortable with that car, right? Because and even though if you're on the apex, on the right side of the apex, right?
Yep.
Because you're going up, it has a little bit of camber to
Yeah.
so it actually will stick better than you think. I still never felt confident. The car felt like it was going to wiggle, but in the
Interesting.
in the Blackwing, within the same the first time with the Blackwing, 3 seconds faster.
oh wow.
Fast. And I've done the 158 a few times now in that car. Generally, it's hard to do because so many people around you,
I know.
and then when you get in the advanced groups, actually I found that I'm faster in groups where I'm the faster car, like intermediate or novice, because I'm not slowing down to let people pass me,
Oh, letting others.
right? But I am in advanced because I'm an advanced driver now. But so are the Porsches and the high-end BMWs and the ZR1s or ZL1s, whatever. So
Yep.
I don't. I end up letting him. It's hard to get a real fast pass there, but that's okay. Now I've got the Blackwing. I'm no longer chasing a time per se because I think I was on the track with a pro driver named Alex, and I drove for 20 minutes, and he, gave me some advice on things, and I didn't get necessarily any faster than I was before. Like I've got the video out there on my YouTube channel. I didn't get any faster than 158, but then I let him drive the car. And that day, he was about 2 seconds faster than me. And I asked him, I said, so, okay, like how much do you have left? He said, I may be able to eke out another second. He said, but I don't think so. He said, maybe another half a second. Okay, to me, that's probably a second. So I'm going to say 3 seconds. So I'm looking at him like, okay, if the pro driver has 3 seconds more than me, I'm not really needing to try to get any faster. So now my driving, when I say chase the green now, I guess since you said that, I like the idea. I'm just trying to be consistent. I want to be fast, but I want to be consistently fast. Yeah. So there's certain turns I know I can, like turn 1, I overslow that every time. I can work that one better, right? I really can. Turn 6, the carousel, I know I take that slower than I probably should. I take that probably around 55 to 60.
You go way higher.
Yeah, I can. But you can in your car because it's so low. My car does have a lot of body roll.
You do have some roll. You do have roll. But
I've seen guys that like my buddy Brian in the ATSV, now David's car. He would take that. I've seen him take that at 65.
Yeah.
So I know I could take that faster. And I mean,
but what's there's not a really bad consequence on that turn though.
No, there's not. There's no consequence whatsoever other than if it loses and unless somebody's around me and I spin out. But the car's got the nannies on it.
I think the only thing worse is if you're going too fast, is that it's going to, if your tires give away, you're just going to push out to the outside edge. So you end up putting on the brakes, but you're not going to like run off the hillside. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So You should push it there.
I will push it there more because I look at my times. I'm like, okay, Gene, you should be at 65. For whatever reason, I have this mental block of once the tires start squealing really hard, and I don't think they're squealing hard enough. Like I've seen other drivers do that in Blackwings there or in V's series. Doing 65, I'm like, I should be able to do that. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I could probably gain a second there easy, but it's not about the car, or about the. It's not about necessarily the speed at times. So when I was looking, if you look at my lap compared to Alex's lap, because I have them side by side on my YouTube channel, there are areas where I'm faster than him on the straightaways because I'm catching up. Because he was smoother in and smoother out, and I am overslowing in. Therefore, I have to catch up with speed, right? So I'm heavy on the gas, and he's just so much more consistent. And I'm like, I was watching that. I'm like, that's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not about. I don't need to mat the throttle on the way out to catch up if I'm smoother in and got a better line in. So
yeah, it's kind of like what we talked about when I was saying about on the race car about they want you to take care of the car. So instead of hammering brakes, hammering the gas, pitching it, being that smooth, that's how you take care of the car. And so like the pro driver, that's how he's able not only take care of the car, but just be faster.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's just super smooth.
So here's the funny part. So a couple of things. He did 3 laps with me, and on the 3rd lap, we were at the we were coming down the hill on 13, and I said, "Yeah, you need to pull in." And because I'm not a good side seat driver, even after I take Dramamine.
Oh, you were the passenger.
Yeah, I was a passenger. And when he throws the car around, he throws the car around
like they do at Spring Mountain.
Right. He throws it around hard. He nails the brakes, almost 100% effort.
Oh.
I'm like 80. He said, "You're like 80. I need you to be like 90." But he's like 100, like your head snapping forward. But then he throws the car in. But it was great because I got to see another guy drive my car, and I know what it can do. I need to check and see how he did the carousel. I may have to check that. Anyway, it was great. So we pull off the side of the road. We pull off to the pits. I don't think I kept the video, but I'm in front of the car, like ready to throw up.
Oh, man.
And I hear somebody in the background going, "Alex, you did it to another guy?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, man." So I'm over here trying to throw up. And finally,
it's my curse.
I know. I get up, and I didn't throw up. I was able to hold it in. And he's standing there just looking at the car, walking around. Car still running, right? The PDR still recording everything. And I said, "What's going on?" He's like, "Gene, I cannot believe this is a Cadillac." He said, "The brakes on this car are phenomenal. How this car handles is outstanding. First time he'd ever driven a Blackwing." And he said, "I cannot believe Cadillac built this car and then sold it to people like us." And I said, yeah, it was kind of cool, right? It was a really neat moment to have a pro driver go, "I can't believe this is a car that I can go buy on the street or on the dealership today and drive it home."
Impressive.
It is. That was, that. So my goals now are be fast and just be consistent and have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, going out there with you and the guys, it's
that's
fun.
what I enjoy. I really do enjoy going out with a group of people.
Yes.
That is, one, hanging out with a group of people I really enjoy, but 2, having people on the track with me at the same time is also fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a blast.
Like at ORP, it was fun where we all went out together. Now you end up going first because you're the faster car, and you get going. But then it was like Rob, like the last session at ORP is Rob, myself, and then Ben. We were going at it, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually I let Ben by just for fun. I'm going to track Ben down now but he couldn't get away from me. And then eventually he's like, he may let me go by. He couldn't keep up with me because I started letting him. We started eking out, and then Rob let me by, and then I just took off. And they were both like, "We couldn't catch you."
Did you tell them you had the little boost button?
I had the panic button, right? But yeah, great. It was fun. And how's it changed my daily driving today? Okay, so
which is different than mine now.
Yeah, it is definitely different than yours. For me, I love the sound of that car when you shift gears because it pops. It's got a great transmission. The 10-speed, it shifts as fast as a Porsche PDK. I like to get on it. I love to hear. I'm in manual mode, I'd say probably 30-40% of the time. And I love to shift the gears manually and get on it. Hear it popping through the first 3 or 4 gears. It's just so good. And then I love hearing the natural burble tune that the car has in it. It's wonderful. It has made me, I think it's made me a better driver because I'm more confident, especially in that car.
Yeah.
All right, I've been through a lot of driving scenarios now. So especially in that car, I know exactly how that car is going to drive in every scenario. I leave it in almost full track mode the entire time, except for suspensions in sport. For me, it is, I'm a little more aggressive, but I do that in a straight line. I don't do a lot of crazy. I'm not aggressive like drag racing anybody, but I'll go around a turn. I'll get on interstate. I have a little fun with it, that kind of things. Except when Liz is in the car, I put it on tour mode suspension, and I'm a lot more chill. She doesn't even like going 35 miles an hour around the carousel, so I can't.
Has she ever been on track?
Yeah, I didn't tell you this story. So we were in the ATS. We were in the ATSV, and it was during a track night in America. Had my wife passenger seat, my daughter, my youngest son in the back seat. The track goes cold for drivers, and then whatever you bring, you can go do. I think it's 4 or 5 parade laps. My wife was in. We're in the car and we're cruising around, and we go around turn 6, and I'm doing like 35 miles an hour. And Liz goes, "You need to slow down. Why are you going so fast?" And I'm over going, no, honey, this is really slow. Like, I need to add another 20 miles an hour onto this. Apparently now I need to add 30 miles an hour onto this. But she's like, no, you need to slow down. You're going way too fast. I'm half my speed. No. We got around to coming down the hill, and I said, I'm going to drop you back off in the pits. And I dropped her back off in the pits. Took the kids for me, went for the remainder of the parade lap spot without her, because she was going to complain the entire time. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to hear this. It's too fast for you.
How many track days had you done before you took her out there?
Oh, probably a dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she went out there because she wanted to see what it was like.
She was just hanging out with us. She was hanging out with John's girlfriend, Diana, at the time. And she wanted to see it. And let's hang out together. No. Yeah, she didn't come back.
That was my next question.
She's not been back since. One, it's a long drive for her.
It is.
Yeah. And if all they're going to do is sit and talk, okay, that's cool, but they're not. That's a long drive. And she's not into it. Therefore, she has not been back since.
What's funny is that John, at our last track day, he brought his daughter, and he wanted to have her go out on the parade laps. I don't know if they changed the schedule, but we always thought it was advanced, intermediate, novice, take a break. They do parade laps, and then you do your last session.
That's what it is.
Well, this last time is not what they did. We're all hanging out in the trailer, and then John's like, hey, when do we go for parade laps? Because he wants to take, his daughter. And we're like, well, after they get done with novice, then it'll be the break, and then they're going to do it. So we're like, okay. So they do the 6, advanced, intermediate, novice, and advanced, intermediate, novice. So they've done 6 sessions. So we're like, okay, next one up has got to be that. So John takes his daughter, and they go up and line up. It is the novice group that is up there ready to go. So what they did is that they took a break after intermediate.
That's weird.
I know, it is weird. Then they did parade laps, and then they did novice.
Okay.
So Steve, Steve, the guy there.
The ball guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came to me later. He's like, what in the world was John doing? He showed up in line without his helmet and everything. Like, what in the world? I'm like, well, but you guys changed something up. I felt bad because he only brought it down there so he could take her on the laps, but she did not end up getting to go.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't know how Cheryl would be. I don't think she would be a good passenger either.
No, because she's driven the car. She's actually been on track a bunch now.
She's been on track. Yeah, she took 2 courses now.
Yeah, so she's a driver now.
She's definitely a driver.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't think she would enjoy being a passenger when I'm the driver.
Yeah.
I don't think she would.
I would agree. My wife, yeah. Okay, so real quick. Last question on this was my gear change. I haven't really changed my gear other than some Alpine gloves and I got a better helmet than I had before.
Oh.
I had open face. Now I got the Cadillac one that sits a little bit lower.
Face.
Other than that, nothing's really changed. I still use the same shoes that I got in the Pelote shoes that I bought in 2018 when I bought them from Spring Mountain.
Oh.
So I've had them all this time. They're great shoes. So my track day gear hasn't changed other than my car because I drive my car to the track and then I drive it home. So.
Okay, then why don't you invest in a neck restraint?
No reason why. I need to.
Because, John and Rob both did it.
I know.
They both have done it.
I know. I do need to do that actually, and I need to actually remember too. You can. Do you lock your seatbelt in? You can pull it in where it doesn't pull back, where you can pull down on it slowly and then let it up real quick, and it'll lock you down almost like you've got a 3-point or a 4-point harness on it.
I don't do that. What I do is that I pull it in, I pull it taut, and then I slide my seat forward a little bit. So now it's really tight against my body. So that's how I do it.
I was talking to our buddy about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, just lock it in." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Once you get in your seat, you get your seat positioned correctly. They designed it this way. You snap your, put your seatbelt on, and you pull it down just a little bit, and then you let it go real quick, and it'll snap you. It'll snaps in, locks in place. So it doesn't have you any give. It doesn't really leave any room for give. Like you go now, you can move around like this, and the seatbelt will move with you or track with you. You can lock it in place almost like it's a harness.
I wonder if that's kind of what I'm doing because when the way that I describe it, it doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
Like it's super taut.
Yeah, that's probably what you're doing. I'm not doing that. I keep forgetting to do it.
Oh.
So I need to do that though. I need to do a little more of that safety stuff.
You should definitely, especially your neck, man.
Yeah. So Liz, final thing I have is when Liz was looking at the GR Corolla, one of the things you get is a free track day.
Oh, I didn't know they did that.
Yes, they do. And you know where they do it?
Let's see, Toyota Sonoma.
Nope, Pacific Raceways. They've got the contract for it.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yep. So through the NRA is what it is.
Oh, interesting.
Not the gun thing. It's a racing association. National Racing Association, yeah. I think. Yeah. By the way, they should change that name. I know. But so yeah, and generally they do it at. I talked to Don Kitcher about it one time. They have that contract, kind of like Spring Mountain has Cadillac. They've got that for Toyota. Oh. So they give a free 1-day coaching, track day with a coach. Liz goes, "Oh, you could have that," and I said, "No, I'm not going to take it." Yes, I would have, but absolutely I would have. Had she fought me on it and said, "No," I said, "No, I'm not taking it. You're taking it. It's your car. You need to learn how to drive it correctly." So don't think of it as you're trying to be a track day driver. Yeah. Learn how to drive the car the most effective. And then she went, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
We watched some videos about it, and she was like, "Okay, that's going to be fun." And I started thinking, yes, my whole goal, get her on the track, right? Get her hooked. And then we got 2 track cars, right?
Until you didn't.
And now everything that she wanted, and the reason why she didn't buy the car, she still doesn't have in the new car. That's a whole nother story.
I do wish you had got that.
I do too.
I was so looking forward to driving that car. Like I really wanted just to putts in it and just to see what it was like.
It's a great little car.
Yeah.
And now she's like, she made a mistake. She's like, "I love my car, but I guess I should have just got the Corolla because that would have been the same thing as I have right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, but faster."
Well, you could go get one for Timmy.
No, he's going to college. We're leaving his car here.
I know. You could get it for him.
Air quotes, get it for him. Got it.
And then it stays with you while he's gone.
Right. And then when he gets back, I decide not to give it to him and just sell it.
Yes.
Okay, solid. I like the way you're thinking. That's all I had, man. Good stuff, dude.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, till next time.
Till next time.
Later.
See you.